Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Seven a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bob.
Well, kind of well. I mean, there was a lot of, I got it. Yep, all right, just like how the mock said. And then all of a sudden, holy bleep. And then, all right, oh, wow. All right, that was okay. First day of the draft is in the books. I mean, is that kind of how it went? Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Gato Roberto. How you living this morning?
Doing fantastic.
Thanks. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
Like, not just hear you.
Yeah. It was,
you didn't have the little Zoom thing on when I was on the road.
I'm a little shy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're a little shy.
I don't want to break the camera.
I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for getting
Sure.
up. How you living this morning?
Good.
Was that a fair assessment of round one? Yeah.
14 offensive players
Yeah.
go off the board before the first defender goes. And it's really the classic, what do you do in football? Do you need a quarterback? Okay, grab the quarterback. Then you protect the quarterback, and in this case,
We'll get them.
give weapons to your quarterback before you get to them.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All that's right. And there was a whole lot of quarterback, and it was a whole lot. Go get a quarterback, and then go get the quarterback. You know, the teams that needed it, the Rams, things like that. But you go right off the top, and it was quarterback, and it was quarterback, and it was quarterback, and it was round one, and it was quarterback, and kind of how it went, and no surprises until you got to number 8. And you know, Caleb Williams 1, Jaden Daniels 2, Drake May 3, just like everybody said. Maybe a little surprised at 4 and 5 that there were no trades, right? I think that if you're looking for surprise at 4 and 5, Cardinals held on to their pick and kept Marvin Harrison. Chargers held on to their pick and they went and got the best offensive lineman in the draft. And they got Joe Alt. And so at that point, you're looking you're looking at Minnesota. Minnesota was the biggest one, right? This is where they're going to trade up. This is where they're going to trade up. Oh, the Giants then. Giants are going to take the quarterback, and they take what they thought was the next best receiver, and maybe he is, Malik Neighbors. So they're staying with Daniel Jones. All right, well, then you figure you're clean. Tennessee's not taking one. Atlanta's not taking one. The Bears already took one. And then it was going to be Green Bay. Minnesota can stay where they want, get J.J. McCarthy. And quarterback goes at 8. Wait, quarterback went at 8 to Atlanta, who just signed Kirk Cousins to a gigantic 4-year deal. And it was Michael Penix Jr. And that's where the whole thing just went, what on earth are we doing? And then Rome Odunze, who I love, to the Bears. I think the Bears had a great day. And that's where the Vikings move up one slot. They swap with Green Bay. They get their quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. And that's the top 10. And then Bo Nix goes to the Broncos, one spot ahead of probably where the Raiders would have taken him. The Raiders get the best tight end in the draft. I just fascinating first 13.
Yeah, especially when we were hit over the head with there's going to be so many trades because the teams are hungry for quarterbacks, but then the other teams told you, and I'm not surprised by Arizona, I don't need extra picks. They have 11 in the draft. They have 27 as well. Going into the first round yesterday, get the best player plus it fits your need. And that was Marvin Harrison Jr. And you saw that play out in the draft last night. The first moment for me was Joe Alt going to the Chargers.
Because they drafted him or because they didn't make a trade?
Because they drafted him.
Yeah.
But I love that because my philosophy is quarterback, protect the quarterback, get to the quarterback. And I get it. Like, Justin Herbert's going to be fine. They're going to find some people to throw to him, but you're able to drop in a franchise left tackle, plug and play. Let's go. It's the tone of what the Chargers want to do. They're going to run the football a lot more with Jim Harbaugh in town. And then the biggest wow of the first round was Michael Penix, number 8 overall. out of left field, no buzz whatsoever about that.
Yeah, inarguably, it was the biggest buzz. As a Bronco fan at 12, I don't know if you got your franchise quarterback. You got your next quarterback. You hope he is your franchise quarterback. You did not have to move. You didn't have a lot of trade capital anyway. He's the 6th quarterback selected in the first 12 picks. You get Bo Nix. There's a lot of upside to Bo Nix. He is a mature, older quarterback. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to be a great quarterback, but I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. So your quarterback room now is Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, Zach Wilson, and Ben DiNucci. I got to believe you like that you didn't have to move up and give up anything more to draft Bo Nix. Do you feel better now about your franchise?
They were not going to have to give up anything to get Bo Nix. Bo Nix is the 6th quarterback for a reason.
All right. So did they overdraft him?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
But this is one where did you get a quarterback that maybe in past years goes in round 2 or round 3 and you're like, yeah, that's really good. That's a pretty good selection. And it's just the fever pitch for quarterbacks this season, which is entirely possible. And it's also one for Sean Payton. It gives him more room for excuses. Like, I am not sold on Sean Payton. I'm not sold on the Denver Broncos and anything they've done to this point make you think that they're going to be successful in this new regime. But it allows Sean Payton to take a step back and go, whew, we're finally out of that Nathaniel Hackett, Russell Wilson mess. Now I have a young quarterback to develop. Give me 2 or 3 more years. And that's what you have to do because now Bo Nix needs a legitimate chance to develop.
Yeah, and players with whom to develop. Because what do you have around him? All right, there's so much to go through in just round 1 this morning, and we are packed today. So if you want to get in, suggesting you get in early, the number is 505-246-0610. That's the text line. It is also the phone line here at the Sports Animal. Area code 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning, jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. On the Twitter or the X, it's _JJ Buck. You can watch the show. Go to our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. You can go to Comcast Channel 26 and watch the show. If you have Xfinity or Comcast, everything's got 2 names now, right? It's Twitter or X, it's Comcast or it's Xfinity. It's the Sports Animal or KNML. It's JJ or JJ. It's Gato Roberto or Bobcat or whatever. Everything's got 2 names.
Well, that's like, your middle name and your mom was mad at you.
It's never good. Yeah, it never, ever good. But find us. Adrian's producing for us on the video side. I got, let me give you a guest list. 8:30 today, Nick Nee. We're going to start our weeklies with the director of golf. You're going to get a golf tip, and we'll talk golf with Nick out at the San Diego Golf Club. Kenny Thomas will be here at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny. We'll talk about what went down in the NBA last night and another big day for the Denver Nuggets. Joel Embiid went bonkers last night. The Nuggets are up 3-0 on the Lakers. And are they going to sweep them, dude? Is it 2 years in a row? Like, what kind of statement is that? I didn't think, and anybody, we'll switch over real quick because NBA last night, Sixers win the first game of that series. They win at home, 125, 111, 114 over the Knicks. So it's 2-1. Embiid had 50 and then came out and said, yeah, I got Bell's palsy, which is crazy. The Magic win their first game of that series, 121-83 over the Cavaliers. Paulo Banchero had 31 points and 14 rebounds. And then the Lakers jump out to that early lead, and the Nuggets come back on them. 4 guys with 20-plus points in Los Angeles, and the Nuggets win 112-105. And, I mean, it's just the Nuggets own the Lakers.
They do. It was the Aaron Gordon game. Aaron Gordon kept the Denver Nuggets afloat for 2.5, almost 3 quarters of basketball, and then they were able to settle in offensively, pull away, and for the Lakers, they built a brick house. The way they're constructed, you expect Rui Hachimura,
Maybe
Prince,
D'Angelo Russell.
Reeves, Russell for sure, hit some threes, and they did not do that last night.
Lakers 5 of 27 from threes. D'Angelo Russell 0 for 6 from three-point land last night after that quick start that he had in Game 2 in Denver. Ever since that first half, he has not been very good. In fact, D'Angelo Russell accounted for exactly 0 points last night. Anthony Davis had 33 for the Lakers. LeBron James had 26. Austin Reeves had 22. And after that, nobody scored more than 8. And it was Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench. And I mean, it's not over, but it's over. And I think they know it. And watching this, is this the end of kind of like, is LeBron James ever? He's 39 years old. I know he's been chasing the Jordan thing, and he won the bubble championship, and it counts. He gets credit. He gets a ring. It counts. But ever since he's been to L.A., it's been pretty underwhelming, right? And certainly the last 4 years. I don't know how I see this getting any better for him to go chase down Jordan and the rings, and Kobe for that matter, and rings. And it just feels like, dude, he's still really good. He's still really, really good. Dude played 42 minutes last night, had 26 points and 9 assists and 6 rebounds. But I just don't where's it coming from? I mean, we were going to go play in tournament out in the first round or run into Denver every year now?
No, the Lakers are in the playoffs because Zion Williams retired.
In maybe. I mean, they could have got in at the 8th seed.
Could have. You trust this team?
I mean, they beat a New Orleans team that then went out and won again without Zion Williamson. Yeah, I mean, would they won with Zion Williamson? Maybe. But okay, fine. I'll play that. I'll go along.
It's one where this doesn't make sense. You have double-digit leads in 3 straight games. You're up by 20 points.
And you got that dude
in Denver. And you can't win one of those games.
I know. We'll talk to Kenny about it coming up at 9 o'clock when the former Lobo great, 11-year NBA veteran is with us. We got another Lobo in the transfer portal. We got another Lobo out of the transfer portal. We'll get into what all that means. And I know you want to talk about the draft. What did the Cowboys do? I got so many thoughts on where Brock Bowers went, how good that is. I like what the Rams did. I love what Kansas City did. I love the Ravens always find a stud late in the draft, in the first round, another stud defensive player. So it's all there. Gato Roberto will take your calls at 505-246-0610. When we come back, Kirk Cousins' reaction. How do you think Kirk Cousins reacted? He just signed a 4-year deal. We were a lot of money to be the Falcons quarterback, and they took the 8th overall pick and drafted a quarterback. What Kirk Cousins and his people had to say next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
What's going on?
Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito. He's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado. Be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
I tell you to stop, okay?
Hello, it's me.
Hi, mijo. Where are you?
Dale was drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma? Can you just come and get me? Grandma?
Leave him in jail.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Best suit. I'll tell you who I like. Dallas Turner. Guy who went to Alabama, the lime or the sherbet green suit, the edge rusher at Alabama that went to the, which by the way, I was hoping he's dropping, and the Rams were picking at 19th. I'm like, Rams get Dallas Turner? Will he drop? And then Minnesota took him there, and I'm like, wow, Minnesota just had a draft. Dude. They got a franchise quarterback, and they got a really good edge rusher. The Rams took Jared Verse out of Florida State. They needed an edge rusher with Aaron Donald retired. You got a guy better suit? Is that
one is the most memorable?
Yeah, that was a nice one. Although the one that kind of like splash paint suit that Nate Wiggins was wearing, the cornerback from Clemson that the Ravens got, and then the best bling, Malik Neighbors, just said leak. That big old pennant. I'm like, look, the Giants just took a leak. That's not funny to you? My daughter found it funny. Giants took
good headline.
They took a leak. To me, that was the best swag. Anyway, what made sense, what didn't? 505-246-0610. I want to give you this. Kirk Cousins was like, wait a minute, what happened? Kirk Cousins is the quarterback of the Falcons. And there's not even an argument. The most surprising pick of the first round was when not only did the Falcons go with a quarterback at 8, they took Michael Penix. The agent for Kirk Cousins, Mike McCartney, not to be mixed up with Mike McCarthy, told the NFL Network, quote, "We had no idea this was coming. The truth is the whole league had no idea this was coming. We got no heads up. Kirk got a call from the Falcons when they were on the clock. That was the first we heard of it. It never came up in any conversation." End quote. I mean, obviously there's stuff. What are they going to do, dude? So are they planning on going Aaron Rodgers with this or Jordan Love? You know, Jordan Love was picked, in the teens? Aaron Rodgers was picked 20-something?
No, they were both picked in the 20s. Jordan Love was like 27.
Okay, so that's not the 8th pick. They're going to sit this guy for 2 years, and then they're going to have you got a 4-year deal with Kirk Cousins. Like, I want to know the thought process, because if you're going to ride, let's just say you ride Kirk Cousins, and I get it, he's older and he's hurt. He's coming off of an Achilles. And so you need a backup quarterback, and so this is a relatively inexpensive backup quarterback with a high upside. But you had other needs too, by the way. And you think you're going to contend. So you're going to sit him for 2 years, which used to be the way you do it, and I don't hate that. So if that's your thing, we're going to sit him for a year or two behind Kirk, and then he's our guy. Gosh, I don't hate that, although this is an older quarterback at 24. But then what? Then you're going to have like 1 year, 2 years to evaluate him before you have to decide?
Pretty much. It is a lot different when we bring up Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love with the 24th and 27th picks in the first round.
Yeah, because you're late.
8th overall. And what I don't get is, if you were concerned about Kirk Cousins, if there was any doubt, why did you guarantee him $90 million? So essentially what you're telling the world is your bridge quarterback to Michael Penix is making $45 million a year the next year.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, they knew they were picking 8th overall. They knew
a quarterback, and probably that quarterback.
That quarterback was going to be there. 3 of the top 6 quarterbacks were there.
Yeah.
Before they went out and did anything with Kirk Cousins. Probably felt like, Michael Penix or one of these guys could be there for us when we pick 8th overall in the draft.
I have no problem that they fell in love with him. I have no problem with that. If they think that's how they evaluated him, look, time will tell. None of us know. Even the guys who think they know, they don't know. We're going to find out. But, man, it's odd. Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Lenny.
Good. If it wasn't for the Atlanta Falcons, then I would have to give the Raiders their head scratcher also.
Really?
Well, okay, you draft the tight end last year in the first round.
Yeah, you did.
You draft the tight end this round. And, yes, Brock Bowers is probably better than Michael Mayer.
Yep.
But you need a quarterback.
Well, but who was left? So they needed to go up.
They could have gone up. But even if you're not, why wouldn't you just draft something else that you needed more than a tight end?
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
But the head scratcher has to be the odds of Atlanta yesterday picking a quarterback in their first pick, but in any round, was 40-1. The odds of Atlanta picking a quarterback in the first round yesterday was like 80-1.
I wonder if anybody even played it.
I was just listening to some of the analysts on one of the betting apps.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't understand how you sign, like JJ was saying, a quarterback for $180, $90 million guarantee. So if they cut him after 2 years, they still got a $45 million cap hit because of how you spread out the signing bonus.
Right. Yeah, if you after 2 years, yeah.
Why are you going to draft a quarterback who wasn't even projected to go in the first round? Why didn't you even at least go with J.J. McCarthy? So if you're going to sit somebody, you sit somebody who's going to be younger.
Well, because they had him valued higher. Their draft people, their draft board, obviously Michael Penix was higher than J.J. McCarthy. That's why.
Okay, and with all the upside that Atlanta had last year outside of quarterback play, why wouldn't you want to go for another offensive weapon?
Or an edge rusher. Yeah.
It just doesn't make any, it just doesn't scratch, I'm just shocked. And the draft board fell into everyone's lap. Everyone thought the Giants were going to go for a quarterback, including myself. They did the right thing and went for a wide receiver, give Daniel Jones someone to actually throw to.
Yeah. Yep.
The Chargers, I thought they were going to go for a wide receiver. I understand why they wanted to go for a tackle, so now they have somebody with Rashawn Slater to keep Herbert upright.
Look, here's my deal with the Chargers, and I know you needed a receiver, and I think you'll get one with your next pick. But I think it's easier to find, and I get the top of the draft receivers are separated from the next bunch, but I think it's easier to find a guy that can make a difference. Puka Nacua was a 5th-round pick last year. Look what he did for the Rams. I think
yeah, but isn't it? I mean, no, you're right. Puka was the fifth,
and it's
there's
hard.
a lot
And
of
it's harder.
receivers that are in the league right now. They're the third, fourth, and fifth
and
round
it's
pick.
harder to find that franchise left tackle, and they need to protect this guy. I'm
And
fine with
then
what they did.
And the Jets did the same thing. You know, I wanted the Jets to take Bowers because they needed a receiving tight end, but they wanted to go with a tackle to keep Rodgers upright because the other two guys they brought in were Band-Aids, but I still would have gone with Bowers. But, you know, there were some head scratches, and then now San Francisco, with the pick they took at the end of the draft, now you're going to see Debo getting probably moved today.
Well, it'll be interesting. They say they're not
Because
going to, but they took
with the
Rick Pearson.
with the money that the Eagles gave out for their two wide receivers and what Detroit gave out, that means Debo is looking at a $30 to $32 million contract.
Yeah, because they both got paid this week. All right, man. No, it's good to hear you. Enjoy the rest of the draft. We'll catch up with you next week. Thanks, Lenny.
Thanks.
Let me go to the Chargers pick because I know a lot of people want they need a receiver. And JJ, this is where I'm sitting, and I'm going to guess where they are. You can find a receiver. Now, it might not be Malik Neighbors, and it might not be Rome Odunze in the second, third, fourth round, but you're not going to find a guy like Joe Alt, the best offensive tackle in the draft, and they need to keep that guy upright, man. They keep getting Justin Herbert beat to hell. They're not going to be any good, and I think it's harder to find a franchise tackle late in a draft or later in a draft than it is to find a guy that's a difference-making receiver.
Yeah, and Jim Harbaugh is not worried about the receiving core at this moment in time. They're going to run the football a whole heck of a lot. That's why they signed Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. Even J.K. Dobbins coming off injury and investing in the offensive line. There's, to your point, receivers available. They're not the elite wide receiver when you had Malik Neighbors from Odunze there, but it's his philosophy, and his philosophy has won a lot of football games. His philosophy has won football games in the NFL, won a college football national championship, and it's going to work to protect Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but they better find him some weapons too. Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnson, and Quentin Johnson was a high pick last year.
First round pick last year.
I know. But did he play like one? That's what I'm saying. You can go draft a guy in the first round.
Yeah, but he also didn't get a chance to play like Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert got hurt. He was behind Mike Williams and Keenan Allen.
That's right. And so,
or Mike Williams got hurt.
Everybody on that franchise is getting hurt. So that's why I got no problem with them going out and doing what they did. I think they made the right pick. I know it's not splashy. I know fans don't love when you get an offensive tackle. People beating up on the Titans because they went and got another lineman, and that's what they do. And whatever, man. That's
how you build football.
That's how
teams.
you build football teams.
If you're the Titans, you just gave Calvin Ridley $100 million. What else are you supposed to do?
No, 100%. You got to build it from the line out. And that left the Giants in a really interesting position. Do the Giants then at 6, do they go and get a franchise quarterback, or do they ride it out with Daniel Jones and get him a weapon? And they decided to go get out what they thought was the next best receiver in the draft. They take a wide receiver, Malik Neighbors from LSU, and then everything went whoa, because I mean when Atlanta took Michael Penix right there, I mean it was you're almost numb when Rome Odunze went. How about what the Bears did, dude? I mean, they get now. You're going all the Pac-12 guys, but Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, to go with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen.
Yeah, that's just good football move. Like I think Rome Odunze is not going to do anything this year.
I think
is he playing over Keenan Allen? And
I think he's playing with him, man. Third receivers get balls.
I think, but I think it's going to be like Jackson Smith-Njigba. Like
okay,
it's good football.
And Jackson
but it's
Smith-Njigba did something last year. He wasn't a star yet. He played with two guys who were really good, really established in Metcalf and Lockett.
And I think that's going to allow him to explode next year.
Yeah. I think he does something. He won't have the year that Marvin Harrison Jr. has because Marvin Harrison Jr. is going into a spot where he's going to be the number one. But this gives him time to grow. No, I think he's going to do something. To your point, will he be that dude? No, probably not, because there's two that dudes in front of him, or at least one, right? But Keenan Allen's a quantity guy. Look, I love the position he's in, and then
Keenan Allen had the 11th most yards in the NFL last year. With what was going on?
Yeah. How many catches? He stayed healthy last year.
Billion catches.
Yeah. He stayed healthy. All right, how'd your team do? 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Kansas City trades up. The Bills completely traded out of the first round, and they gave Kansas City a guy named Xavier Worthy, who people are loving, which falls right into everything they do. They may have just got a whole lot better. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
This report brought to you by Quality by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Topes in Oklahoma City tonight, out at the ballpark. Day game yesterday?
Yes.
How long did that one take?
3.5 hours.
That's not too bad. What's 6 times 3? 18?
Correct.
I'm doing longhand math. They got beat last night or yesterday afternoon, 21-9.
Yes.
ISOPs are giving up 16.3 runs a game in the series. They got beat 21-9, 11-9, and 17-13. So
they did score 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. I thought they might have a shot at it.
Did you?
Yeah. Because I was in here pushing the buttons.
How about this, dude? They're scoring over 10 runs a game, and they're getting beat by over 6 runs a game. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that in baseball. In this series, they've scored 31 runs in 3 games. They've given up 49. They're getting beat by 6 runs a game, and they're scoring over 10. You ever seen that in baseball before?
I'm sure some stretch in PCL baseball.
Same 2 teams tonight. Little League night, fireworks night. Over the weekend, you get all kinds of stuff. What I got? I get fireworks presented by Rio Metro and New Mexico Rail Runner. And gates open early. What's Sunday? Sunday's Bark in the Park, inflatable bats. What could go wrong there? That'll be great. It's going to be great. All right, get out to the ballpark and have fun, and you'll see a lot of runs scored. Holy smokes!
It was wild yesterday. Yes.
I guess. Then we had a draft. Then we had the NBA going on last night. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. You can get in today at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Dan says Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and returning Gato Roberto. Dodgers fans, that's Oklahoma City, are patting themselves on the back, winning big yesterday and being 3-0 in the series. But they're giving up over 10 runs a game themselves, so they aren't playing great either. They're leaking oil on defense, and that could cost them later on trying to win back-to-back PCL belts. They're winning. Winning's what matters. If you win 1-0 or 17-13, you're winning. Cowboys went out. They had a pick late in the draft. Dallas Cowboys moved down. They moved down to number 29. They got an offensive tackle. They needed offensive line help. Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Man, some of these dudes, you look at the size. He's 6'8", 322. You see some of these dudes get up. I mean, just mammoth men. Mammoth men.
They build them differently.
Yeah, whoever they are, they sure as hell do.
In the NFL factory.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. So the Cowboys moved down a little bit. Omar's a little nervous. He said, nervous Omar, Jeff. I like that Coach Jones moved down to basically get 2 for 1, but I'm concerned if as a true freshman, this guy's going to be able to come in and contribute right away to the NFL's most outstanding organization. The Dallas Cowboys have the luxury of waiting 2 to 3 years to let him develop. Well, they don't have the luxury of waiting 2 to 3 years for anything. I mean, I think your owners made it very clear that there's urgency within your organization to go get stuff done. Is there a pick now? I told you a couple that I like. I always like what the Ravens seem to do late in the first round. This Xavier Worthy, the guy that Kansas City moved up, they traded with Buffalo to get. 5'11" receiver out of Texas with insane speed. Feels like he fits the Tyreek Hill mold, right? A speed receiver, get him the ball and let him go.
Not as strong as Tyreek.
Well, not yet, maybe, but people love this pick.
Fact. They've tried this. It's supposed to be Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, but Kadarius Toney's issue wasn't necessarily skill. Kadarius Toney's issue was Kadarius Toney.
Here's the thing with Kansas City.
Yeah.
I'm not excited over wide receivers they draft.
Okay.
They've hit on who over this run.
Who'd they hit on? I mean, kind of Rashee
Rice.
And
I think that Rashee Rice is off-season forced their hand.
No doubt.
To be more aggressive.
No doubt.
With a wide receiver in the first round. Because, you look at bringing over Marquise Hollywood Brown, and then it's Rashee Rice, you're like, oh, we probably do what we usually do at the end of the first round, get a defender, this or that.
Keep an MVD and...
Now
from MBS, sorry.
Yeah, but now we kind of forced because Jack's not playing football for a little while.
All right, so we'll see. I agree with you on the receivers, and Patrick Mahomes makes dudes great. This guy ran the fastest 40 in the combine since 2003. Now, I'm not usually impressed with combine. Whatever, show me what he does on the football field, and what he does on the football field is pretty good. He ran a 4.21 40. So his speed just jumps out, right? He's a pull-away guy after the catch, which is what they do. and they can give him the ball run. He's smaller. They've had success with dudes like this, and I'm not gonna compare him to Kadarius Toney as much because I just think Kadarius Toney's issue was Kadarius Toney. It didn't work with the Giants, didn't work with them, and I'm not ready to call him Tyreek Hill yet, but I can see him trying to play in that Tyreek Hill mode. I just feel like they got a dude here that's just different, and we'll see.
Yeah, it's one where you immediately go, oh well, of course, he's fast. He's playing an Andy Reid offense. He is set up to be really, really successful.
Only one pick in the first round outside of the power conferences. You don't see a bunch, but I think you typically tend to see more than one, and they tend to be quarterbacks. That was a corner back, a defensive back from Toledo named Quinyon Mitchell, who went to the Philadelphia Eagles, and people are raving about him. And I guess you know the question is always, well, who did he play against? And I guess it's Senior Bowl is where he made his hay, where he went in and was able to cover all of these Power 5 receivers, all these top draft pick guys, and proved himself. And they love everything off the field about Quinyon Mitchell. And like, there's guys who come out of smaller schools all the time.
He's a football player.
Yeah.
Last 2 years, he led FBS football in pass rate. Runs a 4.3. Outside of quarterback, the hardest position to play in football is
totally
cornerback. And so you got a guy with speed that has a history of pass breakups. Kerry played at Toledo, or the University of Snowcap Mountain. Like, production and speed at a tough position.
Yeah, and they did. 6 feet, 195, kind of a typical, prototypical build on a guy like that. And that's where it is. All right, so if you want to get in, Cowboy fan, how you feeling? Bronco fan, where are you? So you got a quarterback. You didn't have to move. You didn't have much to move around with. This was the guy. I think maybe you were feeling Michael Penix might have dropped to 12. Or if I was going to tell you, you took a quarterback at 12, did you think it was, I mean, honestly, would you think it was the last one left of the 6?
Yeah.
You would have thought they would have all gone before.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, I
Like
thought there would have been 2 left.
5 or 6, but 6 in the top 12. It's not surprising because that was, everyone just said, all right, of the quarterbacks that are going to be available that you wouldn't have to trade up for, and you didn't really have to anyway. But Bo Nix to Denver felt like the biggest match. You know, he's efficient, can be a quick passing game, get the ball out. It's what he did at Oregon.
Is it wrong that I feel Bo Nix is very, very similar style to Drew Brees, with whom Sean Payton had success?
No.
Okay. I mean, the dude said he's accurate. When Josh Allen came in the league, what was the knock on him? Well, he can throw it over the mountains, but he's not accurate. This dude completed, and it was an NCAA single season record, almost 77.5% of his passes. He led the FBS in total touchdowns. He can move. He scored 6 on the ground. He threw for 45. He makes good decisions. I'm going to tell you, I think Bo Nix is going to be an NFL quarterback, a good NFL quarterback. Now, if you give him weapons and give him a minute to he's older. He's 6'2", 214, not huge, not small.
And I honestly think that's one of the most overrated things.
Which
is worrying of quarterbacks 21 years old or 23 or 24 years old.
I think there's something to
just
it.
Depending on how much college football they've played.
Yeah.
Because at this point in time, you can get these dudes.
Maturity's a deal. I mean,
10 years.
Yeah, but if you're going to ask, you got to come in right away. Maturity matters. You don't think?
Yeah, but I don't think it's much different if they played the same amount of football games. 22
I agree with that.
24.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. Bronco fan, where are you? 505-246-0610. When we come back, I want to hit a little bit on the hoops last night. Nuggets take a 3-0 lead over the Lakers. Lakers done. 76ers get 50 out of Joel Embiid, and then he said, what? And you get 31 out of Paulo Banchero, and the Magic are back in it. So we'll do that when we come back. Kenny Thomas at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk with Nick Nee coming up at 8:30 this morning. Get you a golf tip and get all that started as well. International Protective Service continues to do amazing, amazing things. They heard you when you asked for their help to protect businesses and homes in Santa Fe. Lots of calls coming in for service up there. So if you live in the Santa Fe area and you're concerned about threats to your property, give IPS a call. I'm going to give you the phone number here in a second. In Albuquerque, police response is still hours, especially for home or business break-ins. And in most cases, IPS is there within 7 minutes or less. They install alarms, camera systems. Then they monitor those cameras 24/7 to raise the level of security around your home or business. We've noticed, I know you have, everywhere, IPS officers at retail stores, Targets, Walmarts. IPS makes a major difference for them, and they can help you too. They help me. Every day they come by, they secure my home, make sure everything's okay there. Had a package dropped off while I was gone. They picked it up and delivered it when I got back so somebody else didn't get it. Your home's supposed to be a place of security. If someone breaks in, it's devastating for that security. And you never know when someone's coming. You don't know. They don't tell you when they're going to break in. So let IPS keep their eyes on your home or business around the clock. Here's the number, 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420. They're online at IPSglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From
you handle that last night? Did you flip around? Did you just watch the draft and forget about hoops? Did you go late on the hoops? Did you whatever? I mean, how'd you do it last night? Double screen it? You get Milwaukee, Indiana tonight. Starts at 3:30. They're going early. Then the Clippers in Dallas and Minnesota and Phoenix. Last night in the NBA, whilst you were watching, well, kind of before the draft started and a little bit during it, Orlando won their first. Can I not lie to you?
What was more surprising?
I try not to lie to you, by
Or the Orlando Magic scoring 121 points, or Michael Penix Jr. being selected by the NFL.
Penix.
I don't know.
No, it's more surprising.
I didn't think they were cracking 90.
I'm not gonna lie. I have not watched one play of Orlando Flea, and I know I should. It's just I've been traveling so much, and it's been the early game. So by the time I get back in, and it's going to be back here, by the way. Goodness gracious, it's good to be. I haven't watched one play of that. I've seen highlights, but yeah, they won by what's 21 and 17, 31,
38,
38. They won by 38 last night. Orlando did. Philly wins 125-114 in Pennsylvania. They beat the Knicks. Second series is 2-1 New York. And the Lakers in Los Angeles build a big lead early and lose to the Nuggets. Denver wins 112-105. The Nuggets have a commanding 3-0 lead. This is kind of a story, though. So Joel Embiid had 50 points. It was a career playoff high last night for him. And they get him back in. And afterwards, he said he's been playing through Bell's palsy. It's a condition that's affected the left side of his face. A quote from him after the game, I think it started a day or two before the Miami game, the playing tournament. And I had bad migraines, thought it was nothing. It's pretty annoying, with the left side of my face, my mouth, my eyes. So, yeah, it's been tough. But I'm not a quitter, so got to keep fighting. But, yeah, it's unfortunate. That's the way I look at it, but it's not an excuse. Got to keep pushing, end quote. Not an excuse. Dude scored 50 and led his team last. So he says it's affected his vision at times, causing it to be blurry. He constantly has to put drops in his eyes because they're getting dry. He said he's not clear how long the condition lasts. It could be weeks or months. That's insane, right?
That is a lot to overcome. To the point of what he's describing, seems like that is uncomfortable when you're trying to be the franchise player on a basketball court. These are also the things, like in the moment, with where it's so easy, turn on the microphones, everyone starts screaming, this guy sucks, he can't do it, he's never going to win. Like,
he doesn't suck.
No. Like, and when Joel Embiid came out after game 2,
yeah,
and he's like, we're winning this series.
And he said, this is unacceptable.
Like, that's what you want to hear from the guy. That's the confidence you want to have. He's producing. He's still right there putting his team in position to succeed. 50 points in the playoffs against a Knicks team, too, that they were better in the final seconds. They were not the ones that was throwing a basketball away, not able to make the clutch play. That response from Joel Embiid was epic.
So I that's what you want to hear, but you want to see results after that. So it's one thing to hear we're going to win the series and then come out and score 12. It's another thing to say we're going to win the series, it's not acceptable, and then come out and score 50. Right? And that's where this guy's different. Is he one of the greatest players of this generation? I mean, you're going to have to decide that if you're willing to give a guy who's not yet won a ring and may not that title, that accolade. JJ, in that sport more than any other sport, aside from quarterback, you don't judge tight ends that way. But in basketball, it's how many rings, right? When we talk about the best ever, for whatever reason, Barkley, Malone, Ewing, they don't get put in that category because they don't have rings, right? And so is he the best of this generation, one of the best? He's one of the best. He's been oft injured. And he's playing through Bell's palsy and scores 50 after coming out and saying, yeah, dude, we're not done. Now, they may not win the series. I still have the Knicks to win the series. Just because they built a 2-0 lead, that means you got to win 4 out of 5. But, dude, I'm with you. Give me a guy not only who's going to say it, but is going to go out and back it up and shows up for 50 minutes. Played 41 minutes.
You have that guy, you can get back in the series. Like, this is such, and it's hard because late in the season, everyone's dinged up, but Joel Embiid's always hurt. and you just want to see this guy just be at the end of the season going, oh, yeah, that was, my knees are sore, but here we go, instead of, oh, my knee is broken, and this and that. But to have that performance, 50 points, that's the confidence that Philadelphia gets from Joel Embiid. And that a game like that puts you right back in the series, because 2-0 is not hard to come back from.
James wants to know, do the Air Force women's basketball team equal the Los Angeles Lakers? Jeff, for years, the opening drives talked about there are three things certain in life: death, taxes, and Lady Lobos beating Air Force in women's basketball when they win. Air Force, the Air Force is there. They own them. Now we got another series with the same kind of dominance. LeBron James guys losing to JJ's Nuggets 11th straight. I mean, I don't know if it's equivalent, but the Nuggets own the Lakers. Talk about it with Kenny. Kenny Thomas will be here coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. We'll kick it with Kenny, do some NBA stuff. When we come back, I want your thoughts on the draft last night, round one. What jumped off the page? Obviously, the Penix thing. Bronco fan, where are you? You got a quarterback now. You good with it? How did my NFL team do, you ask? Tell me. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 News Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together
Pull together.
to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Really good point on this draft, and I think it happens a lot. You know, there's really good players, and I hear, well, there's really only 15 to 18 first-round quality players, and that may or may not be true, and it probably varies draft to draft, and I don't even know how you rate first-round quality, and that's up on their board. But the fact that 6 quarterbacks went in the first 12 picks, and there were 32 picks in the first round, some of these really good players dropped into the 20s and 30s, and really good teams got better yesterday. For instance, I think Xavier Worthy makes Kansas City better. I think what Baltimore did at number 30 to get the cornerback, Nate Wiggins, out of Clemson makes them better. It feels like some of those teams at the back, because these guys dropped. The guy that was at 17, Minnesota gets Dallas Turner, the edge rusher that I was hoping slipped 2 more to the Rams. A lot of these really good players who would have gone high in a non-quarterback dominant draft slipped down, and there was some value middle to late first round.
Yes, the quarterbacks changed things atop the draft. That's usually what happens, though, is the teams at the top are reaching for the quarterback to become a good football team so they can be drafting towards the bottom of the first round. Now, it's interesting. It wasn't just the quarterbacks. It was the NFL telling you that the defensive, you got the best defensive player in the draft, but it was not a top 10 player. One of these guys is going to pop. It's what happens. We understand all this. But if you're sitting there, I think Jared Verse, I like him better than Dallas Turner. I think Turner is just Jared Verse too. I don't think Turner is. I think a lot of it was, well, he's an Alabama edge rusher, but he looked a little bit different when he was playing opposite Will Anderson Jr. than he did last year. I think I had a Latua, the UCLA outside linebacker,
who was the first defensive player drafted,
top-rated defensive player, because I love his versatility. He's going to play hand in the dirt a little bit. He's going to drop back, just be a nice weapon for the Colts. And I think Jared Verse, I like him over Dallas Turner. I think the Rams got a really good pick there. And sitting there as it played out, knowing that you get about outside of the top 15 or so, like you have, all right, you're going for a need with quarterback. Then outside of that, like, go best player available. That's why I don't mind what the Raiders did. If they believe that Bowers was the most elite player left for them, go get it. Because if you start just drafting for need,
you're reaching.
You're not going to get better.
Well, many times you're reaching, right? You're overdrafting a player.
And so once they got to about 15, after all the top rated offensive tackles off the board, you saw the quarterback. Then it settled into, all right, you can get better need plus positional value because you still have those top rated defenders on the board.
So you talked about Jared Verse. He's where the Rams took with the 19th pick out of Florida State, and with Aaron Donald not going to be there anymore, retiring. You look at what the Rams did with last year. They got in the third round. They found Byron Young, who was really, really good, and now you pair him with Jared Verse, and all of a sudden, I think the Rams rebuilt their pass rush.
And Kobe Turner was
terrific
in conversation for defensive rookie of the year. It's a whole different ballgame for those guys because Kobe Turner, they're not double triple teaming Aaron Donald. So can you be effective when they're throwing two guys at you, which then would open things up for someone else? And that's the beauty of sport and the beauty of football. What the Rams have been able to do to build this roster with not using a first round pick since when? Like 5 years ago. I mean, was the last time they had a first round pick.
Was Jared Goff their last first round pick?
But they've been able to find ridiculous talent, win a Super Bowl, and this is a team that you're confident in going into next season.
Give you another winner on day one. I'm not telling you they were a good team last year, but they weren't as bad as you thought they would be, and I thought they had a big day. Is Arizona? They get the consensus best. Now, there were good receivers in this draft, 3 elite ones with Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, and Rome Odunze. They all went in the top 9. As much as we're talking quarterback, 3 receivers went in the top 9. Harrison goes to Arizona, and then they take a pick late in the first round, 27, and get themselves an edge rusher out of Missouri named Darius Robinson, who, again, I think makes a difference for them. They weren't far off, JJ, and if Kyler Murray is healthy, they were able to run the ball. They were in almost every game last year, right? How many games did you look up and see the Cardinals winning? Didn't they beat the Niners at one point? They beat somebody the Eagles, whatever it was. You said, what the hell's going on? It was the Eagles late in the season. I look at them and say, okay, who got them and the Bears to me? And both of them had 2 picks, made the biggest impact. For them, it was on offense and defense. And for the Bears, they get a quarterback and a receiver.
And this is an Arizona team that has 11 picks in the draft. Yeah. I was absolutely comfortable with them not being in a trade back position. Because you need elite talent. Marvin Harrison Jr. is that. And you got to figure out something for Kyler Murray. You have to give him a chance. Mm-hmm. And that's what you saw. There's a reason that the Bears went with Rome Odunze, even with 2 established wide receivers, is you have to give your quarterbacks a chance to succeed. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have an epic year because Kyler Murray is going to realize I'm throwing at this dude all the time in that offense. Yeah. And to come back and get a rusher that was first team all SEC selection, that's pretty good. A lot of big names in the SEC.
Yeah. All right. Top 3 quarterbacks. So it goes Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and then it went to New England, and they took Drake May. The story coming out this morning is the Chargers received a lot of offers for Justin Herbert. New England, Minnesota, they turned them both down. Chargers general manager is Joe Horitz, and he confirmed yesterday that he did field inquiries. He didn't say which teams, but it's out there. His response was, Justin who? He says, no. At the combine, I had some people ask me, would we consider it? They were quickly shot down. It was never an option. That was his quote. It would have cost the Chargers, and this is why. This isn't your only reason. But if Jim Harbaugh was thinking about reuniting with J.J. McCarthy, and we had that conversation, we kind of started having intrigue about it. What's it worth to you? But they would have taken a $63.5 million salary cap charge for this season if they traded Herbert. Because they signed him in July to that 5-year Bobcat, 5 years, $262.5 million. Is that a lot? That's a lot, right? That only 133 was guaranteed. 133 million.
That'd buy a pizza or 2.
3 big ones.
Oh, yeah, 3 big
ones. Okay. So he had 133 full guarantees, 193 in injury guarantees. So the Patriots and Vikings both, meanwhile, wanted to move up. New England took Drake May with the number 3 pick. Vikings, J.J. McCarthy with number 10. They moved ahead of the Jets to get that. But the Vikings GM was asked about Minnesota's reported inquiry, and he says, I don't know where this stuff comes from. Yeah, of course you don't. Of course you don't. Yeah, we never thought about Justin Herbert. This is what we planned to do the whole time. We were going to move up to number 10, move up 1 spot, JJ. We're going to move up one spot, and we're going to take J.J. McCarthy. Oh, okay. By the way, he's so cute. My daughter was watching. Now she's probably going to be a Michigan girl, and he's so cute. Does that matter if your quarterback's pretty? It doesn't matter?
A little bit.
To you, it matters a little bit if your quarterback's pretty? I mean, Tom Brady was the best ever. He's pretty.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Took him a while to get there.
Took him a while to get there? Was he goofy looking for a while?
You seen Tom Brady out of Michigan?
Yeah, but how long was he married to Giselle? I mean, he didn't. Tom Brady's prettier at 46 than he was at 22. I'll give you that. Which doesn't always happen that way.
No. Yeah, just look at me.
I mean, money helps a little. Yeah, look at you at 46.
Money makes things look a lot better.
Money makes things look a lot better.
Well, he keeps a really rigorous schedule as far as his eating and whatnot.
Yeah, no, he's got quite the regimen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Brady way is the TB12 way to live. Yeah. Yeah. So evidently with all those rumors, all those stories that were out there evidently are pretty right. That there was inquiries about Herbert and JJ. I don't know that I believe they wouldn't have traded him if it wasn't for the cap hit. I got to believe there was probably a conversation where Harbaugh said, well, what can we get? I can win with JJ McCarthy. I just did. What kind of haul can we get if we trade it? And they said it's going to cost us $62.5 million in cap space. And so they probably went away from it.
You always have to have the conversation. Always have to have it.
All right.
But even having the conversation, I would say that was neat. If you trade Justin and Herbert, I'm not going to let you coach one game for the Chargers.
Yeah, you're fired. You're fired.
I know I just hired you,
you're
but
fired.
I will fire you.
You're fired.
Before you even get a chance to coach.
You're fired.
Like, there's just certain things that you just don't.
You're fired.
And that was one of them.
All right, 505-246-0610. I got some correspondence from you on the draft. How did your team do? Bronco fan, you got a quarterback. Bo Nix. You good with it? Or would you rather have Zach Wilson? Well, you got them both. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
or surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Bobcat Ho today. Gopher says, Jeff, tell John Sticata. Scott Stigler. To come back later, the entire state of New Mexico is waiting to hear Bobcat Ho. I think that's right. Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck, and Gato Roberto. The number to get in is 505-246-0610. It was just over there talking to our buddy DC about how he feels about your new Bronco quarterback. I don't know. I can't throw the out route. 2 years we'll be drafting a new quarterback.
I'm not quite there. You know, this is one where, all right, the needs push these guys up.
Yep.
So in years past, is Bo Nix maybe the second or third round pick where you go, oh, that guy was good. That guy turned into something.
Which would be like, I don't know, Russell Wilson?
Yeah, at 12, which could happen just based on the way the board fell out. Where I'm a little, I need to see it. John Payton has never developed a quarterback. John Payton has never worked with a young quarterback. And so this is one where, we trust John Payton, right? He's a veteran coach, this or that. He gets his opportunity for the first time in his career to develop a young quarterback. And can he be that guy? Because Denver asked him to be that guy. Denver gave up first and second round selections just to pay Sean Payton to be their head coach.
Yeah.
Absolutely just
they're deep.
Did not do a darn thing last year.
I know.
Wanted to play Jared Stidham, didn't because, oh my gosh, we accidentally won football games and I can never start Jared Stidham and Russell Wilson sucks. Let's get him out. Right, well, that mess is over with. You have your young quarterback and see what you can do.
Going to go to the phones here in a second. Terry Fontenot is the general manager of the Falcons. Trying to explain why they took Michael Penix at 8 after giving Kirk Cousins a 4-year and all that $90 million guaranteed. Quote, if you believe in quarterback, you have to take him. And if he sits for 4 or 5 years, that's a great problem to have. because we're doing so well at that position. So it's as simple as if you see a guy you believe in the position, you have to take him. He has to explain to Kirk Cousins, who, by the way, was not alerted and was shocked and disappointed via his agent. That's what's going on. So let me get this right. If my quarterback sits, the eighth round pick or the 8th overall pick in the draft sits for 4 to 5 years, that's a good problem. I just had the 8th pick in the draft where I can get an impact player for a decade on defense, an offensive line, a receiver. But if he sits for 4 or 5 years, that's a great problem. And by the way, then I lose control. And what about the player who never gets to play? This is like the Jordan Love thing. We were wondering, will Jordan Love ever get to play? What about the player whose career is just languishing? I guess we don't give a damn about that. I guess he doesn't.
So Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 seasons.
Yep.
Before his first year starting.
And became Aaron Rodgers.
25 years old.
Yep. Jordan Love sat for 2?
6 and
3. 6 and 10 his first year. Edward, you're on the Sports Channel. Good morning, Edward. Wait, let me hit the button again.
Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you there, gentlemen?
Yeah, we are here, gentlemen. Are you?
Oh, good. I didn't hear the click.
Click.
Hey, you know what was funny yesterday, Jeff, when you described, I don't know what set it was, but they were like talking about how do you know if it's a bust or not with your draft pick? And they were on a set, and the one guy says, well, here's a guy who used to be a GM or director of player personnel, and he's sitting right next to me because he didn't know. Yeah. I shared that with my son yesterday. We had a great laugh.
Yeah, it was watching ESPN. Was it Tannenbaum? Was it the guy that used to be the Jets GM? And they were talking about a guy. He's like, you don't know either, man. You don't know anything. That's why you're sitting here next to us. You don't know.
That's the mic drop of all mic drops.
Yeah.
Hey, so just some observations on the NFL. By the way, the Atlanta situation, the adage is in corporate America, the more you're explaining, the more you're losing. They probably made a poor decision and to go in there and defend it. We'll see how it all plays out. But I thought both, and Penix has a great story. I thought both Penix and McCarthy are stretches, big stretches. More so McCarthy than Penix. But to take McCarthy that high in the draft, I don't know. Hey, do you remember those quarterback challenges in the 90s when Brett Favre would take like 17 steps and throw the ball 74 yards? And it was amazing, right? He had the biggest arm in the NFL.
Okay.
I saw May, who the Patriots drafted. By the way, I thought they were going to completely screw up the draft, but we're 1 pick in. I saw May on a video take 2 steps and throw the ball 90 yards. 2 steps, and he hit the goalpost at 85 yards. Now, does that mean he's going to be an amazing quarterback? No, it just means he has an amazing arm strength, but the evolution of these athletes is spectacular. My son buys a mini package to Texas football games, and he said before the draft started last night, he said that dynamic receiver is going to slip to the Chiefs. I'm going to take you back to the pre-salary cap era of NFL football, which I consider the modern-day era of football when the 49ers, under their brilliant coach, they found a way to put the ball in their biggest playmakers in space and leverage their speed, whether it was Rice or John Taylor or Roger Craig out of the backfield. The Patriots did something very similar, with their slot receivers and controlling the middle of the field with tight ends. And the Kansas City Chiefs had figured it out. They put their playmakers, their dynamic playmakers in space and get them the ball and leverage their speed. This was a home run. This was an absolute home run for them because they're going to put this guy with 4.1 speed in the 40 in space, and he's uncoverable in certain situations, not to mention he could stretch the field. But, I think the draft, there's never a sure hit, but I think the dynamics of the NFL is changing, and you got to play your guys, right? The Lakers season's over. It was a good run. They could only kick themselves for sleepwalking through half the season and getting what is the 7th seed. I think the Nuggets are going to run through the NBA playoffs. I think they may lose 1, maybe 2 games in a series. If barring a major injury, they are going to run through the NBA playoffs. Thank you for taking my call. Enjoy this beautiful weather and have a great day.
See, a couple things in there. I really, really, really like what the Patriots did there, and we're going to see. To me, and this is where you and I might differ a little bit, but I love the pick because it fits what they do, and it fits what Andy Reid does. And this Xavier Worthy is so damn fast, and it's not fair to call him Tyreek Hill, but you can say he plays that role. And I'm going to back off the Kadarius Toney thing because I think Kadarius Toney was the problem, not the system. If you got a guy who they like is going to fit into that role, and you just give Patrick Mahomes another weapon like that, and I don't know how long Rashee Rice is going to be out. What are they going to suspend him for 4 games, 5 games? He'll be back for the middle of the season.
Now the weeds involved, that you get all kinds of complicated.
They got the weed involved now too.
Yeah,
weed
in Texas.
Yeah, I get it. All right, when we come back, we are due to have a conversation with Nick Nate, the director of golf over at the beautiful San Diego Golf Club, and start getting you some golf tips. We'll do this on Fridays from now on, from now through the fall and get into September, October on it. Kenny Thomas due to be here coming up at 9 o'clock. Kick it with Kenny. We'll talk about the transfer portal. The Lobos get John Tonje. The transfer comes from Missouri. It was at Colorado State. They lose Braden Applehans into the portal. We'll talk about what all that means with Kenny at 9 o'clock. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Channel.
We are still dealing with some slow-mo
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! this place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I mean, right? Saturday, maybe some storms in the afternoon, weekend. It's that time. It's the opening drive. Jefferson Vieta, JJ Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up in a little bit. I love doing this. I'm so glad we're going to get to do this over the next 5 months, 6 months, however long we're going to do this. I respect his opinions. I respect what he's done for golf so much in our state and helps so many of you as we do a weekly golf tip and get to talk golf with our good friend who is a stud and is the director of golf out at the beautiful Sandia Golf Club. Nick Nee returns to our program this morning here on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Nick. How you living?
I'm living well. Again, a little more than I deserve, but happy Friday.
Man, I'm glad to have you back. It's good to hear your voice. Did you watch the draft last night?
I did. I tuned in a little bit to see who my team picked and
who'd you get?
Kind of see where everyone landed.
Who'd you get? You're a Giants fan?
No, I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. I was a huge Eddie George fan growing up.
That's right.
As a kid, and so I kind of just latched on there, and
yeah.
So we got offensive tackle. So we'll see what they do with him because he's a right tackle, but they need a left tackle. So he has to go to the other side. He's got to learn. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him.
Yeah, and he's got to protect Will Levis. All right. Look, I've been watching golf. We haven't talked since you were at the Masters. Scotty Scheffler wins again. How was it being out there? I got to believe amazing. And when you go out there, everybody I talked to that was there this year, just said it was unbelievable. And while the ratings may have been down, everybody seemed to love it. And golf is such a unique place. But what Scotty Scheffler and Nelly Korda are doing right now is bonkers.
Absolutely. It's unheard of. It's unmatched. The Masters, what they do to treat the patrons is second to none. Any tournament that I've been to. And although the ratings are down, you look across Augusta National and I think attendance was way up. So give or take a little bit on that side. But what those two are doing in the game of golf, Scotty Scheffler is unbelievable, but then you got Nelly Corday on the other side that's, one of 5 in all of professional golf right now with Annika, Nancy, Tiger, and Ben, in terms of 5 wins in a row, and one of those being a major. It's awesome for the game of golf. I'll say that. I think it's great for the industry for both sides, for both men and women, to kind of see what they're doing and hopefully get some interest and be excited for what's a great sport that you can play for a lifetime.
What makes Augusta so special? Because it's a course that's challenging, but it never changes. Maybe the yardage off the tee, of course, speed of the greens. We're always going to talk about that. But is that really something that it's more mental for the guys? Because the multiple players that have played at that course, like, it's nothing new. They know what to expect, but yet you still see those moments where, I go back on Sunday, there were 4 dudes sat on the leaderboard, and just like that, it was Scotty Scheffler alone by himself.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because I think that's what makes it special, right? All the other majors, the other 3, and if you want to coin the players as a major, that would kind of be the outlier there. They all rotate golf courses. Augusta National and the Masters is consistent. But what they make so hard, you have elevation changes, you have different lies. They extend a tee box 30 yards, and it totally changes the line of play that those guys have to play. So that's what makes it challenging. You got 100 feet elevation change from 10 tee box to 10 green. When you got winds like they had on Friday, that's unbelievable to try and control your golf ball. And 1, keep it below the wind, but 2, deal with uneven lies, deal with the slope. They can learn the greens. Those guys are phenomenal when it comes to green reading and putting. They spend a lot of time around there during the practice rounds. We're there and you watch them. But what makes it hard is you can't miss by the slightest of margin, because if you do, you're making bogey or double. And you saw that as people made the turn to the second 9 last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, that if they missed on number 9 by a yard short, that thing's rolling 40 yards off the green. And if you miss it by a yard long, you're lucky to get up and down. You're lucky to even keep it on the green. So it's a golf course that challenges you mentally, obviously physically with the elevation change, but you have to be spot on with the numbers, and you have to be spot on with where you leave your golf ball, because if you don't, it's going to eat you alive. But it's so fun because it's consistent, and they just do it right.
He's Nick Nee, the director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club, with us on these Sports Animals.
Nick, it's been trending this way the last couple of years, but Tiger Woods is a major tournament golfer. Like, he's going to do everything he can to just try to play the majors. What do you make of him getting through 4 rounds of golf, and is that something that he can build off of, even being plus 16?
Absolutely. I think he can build off of it. He played a little bit on Thursday and then had to play 23 holes on Friday, and you saw the wear and tear come the weekend for him. But the fact that he stuck it out, he had the early morning tee time. He played with the amateur that was a low-am on Sunday, which is great for the game. It's great for that kid. It's great for golf. To see him get through it, I think he can build upon it, and you kind of heard that in his presser after. He's going to get back at the gym now, although seeing him, I don't know if that guy needs to be in the gym any more than anybody else. He's unbelievably stacked in terms of physique. So I think it's great that he can build upon it. I think it's great for the game of golf. You have to get 4 holes ahead of him at Augusta, otherwise you're never going to see him. So that tells you all you need to know, that people are still following him. He's still the pioneer in the game, and he's leading that charge to continue with his brand and with the game of golf to hopefully keep that viewership up to what it can be. And there's reports of the equity stake that came out this week, so they're doing all that they can. At the end of the day, as a consumer, as a spectator, just like everyone else, I just want to see the best guys play. I'm tired of hearing about money. I just want to see the best guys play golf.
I think that's where we are, and I want to get there. And Nick Nee's with us. So the equity stake, the LIV PGA thing, it's in the exact same place it was when last we spoke 5 months ago, where we don't know what the hell it means. Is there a merger? LIV's talking, well, maybe we'll go to 72 holes. I think when it's all said and done, they're probably all going to play together on the same tour, and you're going to have some guys that are way richer because they took the $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 million to go to LIV. And so the PGA came out this week, and they found $750 million. They're going to spread equity. Rory's going to get 50 million. Tiger's going to get 100 million for not going to live. How do you feel about it? Because at some point, man, I'm with you. And it's funny how John Rahm took, what did he take? 450 million. And within 2 months going, yeah, I miss playing with those guys. I want to play with the best. We need to merge. Now that he's got 450 million in his pocket.
Absolutely. And you look at them, we watch them play practice rounds, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on, they're all playing practice rounds together for the most part, aside from maybe a couple that, by what they've said, have rubbed some the wrong way, and maybe that relationship is unrepairable. But at the end of the day, as a spectator, like I said, as someone that works within the industry of golf, I forget what golf professional said it. You just want to see them play golf. You tune in to see them hit the big shots. You don't tune in because John Rahm made $450 million on LIV. You tune in to see them compete on the biggest stage in the biggest moments with pressure on the line. You didn't tune in to Michael Jordan hitting the free throw jumper against the Utah Jazz because he made more money than the guy that's sitting on the bench on his team. You tuned in because that was primetime sports, and you wanted to see it, and you wanted to be a part of it. And we need to get back to that in golf. We need to get back to the best guys are playing against each other in the biggest moments. You have that a little bit at the majors, but you also don't, because there's our guys on both sides that, whether they haven't qualified or, the Ryder Cup being another one. You got the President's Cup coming up this year. As a spectator, we just need to get the guys that are the best to play on the same tour, whether it's a world tour. You have that in professional sports that one guy's making more than the other. It is what it is. I'm tired. I guess I'm numb to the astronomical numbers that come out of what they're getting paid. 100%. But at the end of the day, they're a professional athlete. Should they be paid? Yes. But let's just get them on the same tour and play against each other, because that's what we want when we tune in. And I think that's what will help kind of push this forward and get it, the money talk in the rearview mirror.
Nick, they're all rich. Some are richer, right? I mean, Rory's, poor Rory, he's only getting 50 million, and the other guy got 450 million. That's how it is. He played his gamble and he got beat. Let's go play. Now, because one thing I'm sick of, and JJ says this all the time, when Phil Mickelson, we're doing this for the betterment of the game. We want to grow the game. I mean, with all due respect, BS. To just say like Pat Perez did, dude, like John Rahm did. The money, I couldn't pass up the money. That's why I took it. The whole betterment of the game. Tell me what LIV's done to better the game.
Absolutely. I mean, aside from playing in different markets in the PGA Tour, but they have to, because some markets don't want them. If you want to better the game, go volunteer your time and teach a junior clinic. If you want to better the game, go volunteer at a local, food pantry, bring clubs with you, and teach families the game of golf, right? Just because you play golf in Australia isn't going to better the game. Just because you make $450 million, I'm with you guys. Don't say it's for the betterment of the game, because we all know it's for the money. And that's fine. You're a professional athlete. Good. You're the best at what you do. Should you get paid? Yes. But at the end of the day, if you make $1 million, that's a lot of money to me. So, must be nice, but right. You're not better in the game. Go out and actually, put money where your mouth is, so to speak, and do it for free, right? Go teach those clinics. Go get involved with different initiatives that are within the PGA of America brand. 100%. If you truly mean that. So I don't buy it either. I'm kind of numb to it. At the end of the day, let's just get the best players on the golf course, just like you would the field of football, the baseball diamond, soccer field. Let's get them out there. Let's play against each other. And if you guys want to better the game, then there's other ways to do it other side than making $450 million in a 5-year span. I collected $15 instead of giving away $15 Sunday after a round. That was, to me, betterment of the game. That was made my game better. He's Nick Nee, the director of golf over at San Diego Golf Club. All right, let's start out. What do you got for a golf tip to get started? Yeah, I got my favorite one coming out of the season. Getting on with you guys is the start to golf season, so it's exciting. What you're going to do is get inside, actually. You can do it when these heavy winds are coming, or the rain this weekend, at least tomorrow, and just get a golf club. What we see very often, people coming out with rust, they get very active with their hands as they take the golf club away. What we're going to work on is just the lower half of their swing, so to speak. It's more takeaway and kind of the through or the exit. You're going to stand between the door frame, and as you stand between it, just take your grip, your normal posture, get in good posture, and just slowly take that club away. And if you have the shaft just below the grip hit the door frame, then you took the golf club away in a good fashion. If the club head rotates and hits the wall first, you're too active with your hands. So what we want to see is activation of the big muscles of our chest and our core taking this golf club away. So as it moves away back towards the door frame, if the shaft hits the wall, you've done it correctly. Same thing going through. But if the club head hits the wall, you're too active with the hands. And again, what this does is it activates the core to take the golf club away in the first kind of few feet, almost up to hip high. And if we do this, it's something we could build upon to have a good takeaway and a good path through the golf ball. So again, you can do it inside. You can put 2 alignment sticks if you're outside around your body and kind of work on that. But if we have a really good takeaway that's consistent with the big muscles, not our hands rotating the golf club and manipulating the club face, you're gonna be set up to build that swing higher and higher. It's my favorite drill coming out of the winter. I do it all the time in my office. So
Nick,
please do it. It helps your takeaway. It's going to help actually as you get through the golf ball
Nick,
as well.
The takeaway changed my golf swing, especially with the driver. Literally changed my golf swing. If I take it away, I'm in play. If I get handsy or don't just rotate the core, I literally start the takeaway, just let my hips move. That's how I start the takeaway, my hips and chest. It changed my world. That's why I made 15 instead of lost 15 last week. It's a great tip. What's going on at San Diego Golf Club?
Yeah, things are rock and roll for us. We're in a great spot as we start our season. Twilight rates start at 3 o'clock. We have the best patio in Albuquerque. Come out and eat. I challenge you if you haven't been there. The views are unmatched. It is, again, the best patio. We'll take care of the food and the exceptional service. Come out and eat some lunch, eat some dinner. We got some beautiful sunsets with great temperatures. But the golf course is in great shape as well with our superintendent, Isaiah, who's done a tremendous job getting it through the winter, waking it up, and getting ready for the season. Again, check online at sandiegogolf.com for our best available rates. We run specials through there 7 days a week. So check that out. Twilight rates start at 3 o'clock if you're the afternoon golfer, need to break away from the office a little early. But come on out, enjoy some golf, enjoy some great food and great service. We look forward to seeing everybody at San Diego Golf Club.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. I'm done traveling after next week for a little bit. I'm going to come see you. But I always appreciate hearing you. We'll do this next Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, guys. Y'all enjoy the weekend.
Be well. He is Nick Nee, the director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club, sandiegogolf.com. JJ, the takeaway changed my life. Literally.
Work on that.
Like literally, because you can't get on the right path if you start on the wrong path. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's the opening drive. Kenny Thomas will be here coming up at 9 o'clock just in a few minutes. We'll get into the Lobos moves in the portal. We will get into the hoops last night. I'll bet Kenny's even got thoughts on the NFL draft. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
We got a sweet deal for you. It goes online right at 9 o'clock. It is Bourbon House. $50 worth of Bourbon House for just $25. Craft cocktails, food, local draft beers, and wine. Open Wednesday through Sunday at 11 a.m. Sunday morning, they got mimosas and Bloody Mary bars, draft beer specials. We got Whiskey Wednesdays, Tequila Thursdays, Service Industry Sundays, and enjoy the sunshine on one of the largest patios in the Heights. It's Bourbon House. It is your sweet deal. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the sweet deal icon, and you can enjoy that. All right, we got a ton of hoop talk. I want Kenny's thoughts on the draft. Lobos in the portal. They get a guard that you're familiar with, John Tonje. Braden Alphonse goes into the portal. And the Lakers down 3-0 to the Nuggets. Are they done? Kicking it with Kenny next is Kenny Thomas, the 11-year NBA veteran and former Lobo great, joins us here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
It's time for the...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is Kickin' It with Kenny Thomas. Brought to you by Capital Ford on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck, Gato Roberto is in producing today. You did the late game last night, too, huh? Quick turnaround. Thanks for, never mind, Tiger Woods.
Yesterday was the day game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why they let you come in today?
Yeah.
That's nice of them.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I thought you had like a Tiger Woods type turnaround.
No, that was earlier in the week, Tuesday, and probably tomorrow.
All right.
Because I do across the hall in the afternoon, and then we have a night game.
Oh, that's a long day for you.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Job security.
Look, man. Yes. Thank you for coming in this morning. Thank you. It's the opening drive. Kenny will be here, I think, at some point, and we'll kick it with Kenny and talk to him about the hoops last night. Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck. If you want to get on the draft, look, we've been all over the draft today, too. Everybody, us included, are surprised that Michael Penix went at number 8. And Kirk Cousins' team came out and said, don't get it, don't know why, but that happened. Bronco fan, you can get in on Bo Nix. He's your new quarterback. He went at number 12. J.J. McCarthy at number 10 to the Vikings. So let's go. But we did have hoops last night as well. And we did have playoff hoops, and we did have significant playoff hoops last night. And the big one around these parts, I would guess, would be the Lakers opening up big lead at home against the Nuggets, and the Nuggets coming back and getting 24, 15, and 9 assists from Nikola Jokic. A big, big game out of Aaron Gordon, who had a playoff career high 29 points and 15 rebounds. Nuggets beat the Lakers 112-105, take a 3-0 lead in that series. Knicks lose in Philadelphia 125-114. Joel Embiid had 50 for the Sixers. And then the Magic win 121-83. Paolo Banchero had 31 for Orlando. The big one's the Lakers, right? They're down 3-0. The Nuggets have beat them 11 times in a row. JJ, it's over. Is it just over in 4? Is it over in 5? And when do we get to put this thing to bed?
Saturday night. If the Lakers can't win Game 3 in a series that they've had double-digit leads in all 3 games, they're back home. You look at what they did in Game 2. And said, all right, you need some shooting out of D'Angelo Russell.
None.
Anthony Davis, keep it up. LeBron James in the second half. And once the Nuggets took the lead, the Lakers were flat. And the thing with the Denver Nuggets is they have 5 guys who make plays on the floor in every single time.
Yep.
Lakers don't. And that's
every night. No, you're right.
Like you need, even when you had your D'Angelo Russell night, you lost. And then so you didn't get anything. I'm looking at this series too, and I'm like, all right, I heard a whole lot about Austin Reaves. Loving this dude, have to keep him around.
They paid him.
Kind of an important time to be the 3rd best player on the floor, and he hasn't been that.
Well, he was for them last night. He had 22 last night, but he wasn't the 3rd best player on the floor. For them, he was last night.
It doesn't feel like he's making any impact in the series at all. He scored 22 points.
Yep. 5 rebounds last night, 22 points on 8 for 17 shooting. He's got to be better than that.
I don't know if he. It's one where there's just not enough of the other.
So this is really fair conversation, and I wanted to have this with Kenny. Is the way the series has gone? The Nuggets are the defending champions. Okay, so they've proven themselves. It's not that they only beat the Lakers; they went through everybody. But is this series more about the Nuggets or the Lakers? When I look at D'Angelo Russell, 0 for 7 last night, had 0 points, and that's a guy that I paid, and that's got to be it. Where else am I getting it? To your point, Rui Hachimura 5. So the other 2 guys in the starting lineup had 5 total points after Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Austin Reaves. I got very little off the bench. Is this more about the Nuggets or the Lakers? I know what the Nuggets are.
This series is more about the Los Angeles Lakers because there's certain things we can't quit and for. I don't know how many people
sure
we listen to. And even Kenny Thomas, man, you got to watch the Warriors, man. It's Steph Curry. It's the Lakers. No, it's not. Like, their time is done. That ship has sailed. And the Denver Nuggets have one of the best players who ever played the game of basketball.
And that's Nikola Jokic.
Surrounded by one of the best starting lineups in the game of basketball over the last 2 seasons. And this is the outcome.
To that point, how good was Michael Porter Jr.? And I'm going to give that young man so much credit for this series. Well, Jeff, he should be the third best guy on their team. Well, okay. And he had 20 points last night on 8 of 16 shooting, and he played 35 minutes. And Aaron Gordon was terrific last night. I remember when they got Aaron Gordon. I remember the day that happened. I said, that's the one that puts him over the top. And it might not have been right away, and I don't even know if it is the one that put him over the top, but, man, he's good. And he has flourished there. Michael Porter Jr.'s got 2 brothers. One of them last week was suspended for life by the National Basketball Association for his role in this gambling situation. And another brother was sentenced to 20 years in prison. And I don't know where your head is when you go to work, but when you got family stuff, and I'm hoping nothing like that has ever happened to you. I'm going to guess there's very few of us who have experienced that in 1 week. Dude's human. And he came out and balled, and he's balled all series. And he hit some big shots, some tough shots, especially in the fourth quarter yesterday. My hat is off to Michael Porter Jr.
Absolutely. Michael Porter Jr. is, for a player on a championship team, was still looked at as, well, that's the guy you have to move to keep it going. I'm guilty as charged. It was, dude, are you really giving that dude $160 million to be the number 3 option? Yes, you are. Because it worked. And the way that the Denver Nuggets are constructed, you get 3-point shooting and rebounding out of Michael Porter Jr. You get rebounding and defense out of Aaron Gordon, and he can pop for 29 points in a basketball game because he becomes the guy that other teams dare to score the basketball. And the one thing with Aaron Gordon, which he'll take a couple threes, he ain't settling. He's going to go inside, and if you sag off him, he's going to get to the basket, score his buckets. And then, of course, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who's been a champion before, now a 2-time champion after what they did last year. Defense, free throw shooting.
Everything.
This is just one. It's the Lakers. It's
the
LeBron
Nuggets
James.
Are just better.
Denver Nuggets are the better basketball.
They're just better. And I don't know that they're immensely better, but they're better enough to where they've won 11 in a row over this club. Very few of them have been blowouts.
They haven't been blowouts, but the way they've won, coming back from 20 points down.
Every night.
Being down double digits.
Every night.
Last night, and you're like, all right, now this is a game LA's finally going to get. It's been close. And
Not
like,
really,
nope.
though. Not really. The Nuggets out-rebounded the Lakers 51-38 last night. That's want to, man. And look, I'm not going to put this on Anthony Davis either. I think AD's played his backside off. 33 points, 15 rebounds last night. Dude played 43 minutes. What more do you want from Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis is earning his money. And LeBron James is earning his money. At some point, and I don't even think this is Darvin Ham's fault, the head coach, do you? They're just not constructed. And I get it. They're tapped by salary restrictions. They haven't had draft picks. I understand how they got here. And this is what LeBron James wanted, and he brought in his guys, and it didn't work. They're still they're still beat up by the Russell Westbrook.
And one of the players they lost in that trade was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Right? I get how they got here. But to your point, man, the other guys are better. LeBron James, 39 years old. He's still balling, dude. He had 26 points last night. He's going to be 40 years old in December. Does LeBron James, never mind win another championship, does he get back to another conference final in his career? You just said it's over.
Right now, no.
Probably not, right? I mean, I don't know what the path is. Unless he goes somewhere else, he can opt out and he can go and him and
Run Steph would be fun to watch.
What if LeBron and Steph team up at the end? I mean, are they enough? Steph joins the Lakers. Is that enough? Steph, AD, LeBron. I mean, it's intriguing. We're watching every damn game. They'll be on TV almost as much as Caitlin Clark. Almost. It'll be something. The other one last night, Joel Embiid scored 50 and then came out and said, I'm dealing with Bell's palsy, which is like a paralysis of the face. And he's had vision problems. Dude went out, like Jalen Brunson scored 39 last night. But this was the Joel Embiid game, huh?
It was Joel Embiid backing up the statement he made following the game 2 loss, saying that they're not down, they're going to come back and win this series. And for Joel Embiid, it's when we have players that are that good and they come up short, we have bad feelings about it. It's the Boston Celtics. It's Philadelphia being down 2-0. But that was an epic performance in the moment. Game 3 swings the series. You can come back down 2-0. 3-0, that's not happening. And Joel Embiid has not been a problem in this series. Now, for Philadelphia, it's it's going to be tight games the rest of the way. But can you take those tough losses that you had and can you make a play in the final minute of the game? Because there's going to be more one-possession games.
All right, when we come back, Lobos get a 6'6" graduate swingman. It's kind of what I think they need is one of those swing guys. He's injured a lot. You've seen him play. He's played in this league. He's transferred in from the SEC. How can that all be the same? Tell you who it is, what it is, why it is, and what difference it makes, and who they lose into the portal. That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Is it Friday yet? Did I hoe last Friday? Was I around? No, I wasn't. It's been a 2-week hoe.
Got your funky bus fare.
I went about a third as long as you did.
It's one of my favorite songs. You know why?
Why?
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
I mean, it's kind of one of my favorite songs. I just got a text from my daughter. What was the score last night? She's like, Topes lost 22-5, question mark. That wasn't the score, was it?
No.
No, it was 21-9. No. 21-9.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't 22-5. It was 22-9. It wasn't that bad.
No, because they scored 4 in the last, at the bottom of the ninth. They scored 4 runs. I was so busy I couldn't get the highlight.
Goodness gracious. She's like, really, Dad? They lost 22? No. All right, transfer portal stuff. Lobos get John Tonje. You're like, I know that name, John Tonje. He played Colorado State. He was pretty good at Colorado State. What'd you think of him? Was he a guy that jumped off the page at Colorado State to you, or was he was a nice player at Colorado State? Yeah, nice player. He went to Missouri last year, played in the SEC, and was hurt. He played just 8 games for Missouri last season due to a foot injury. 6'6", grad transfer. 46 starts over 4 seasons at CSU, and they shut him down at Missouri last year, and their head coach, Dennis Gates, said that he was one of the best players during summer workouts. But he played for the Cameroon national team before that, and he was injured there. Do I need to be concerned about injuries? Because I kind of am.
When you have a foot injury, sure. But he played a lot of basketball before his foot injury.
Nope. Foot injuries concern me. All right, 6'6" swing. So this is a guy, JJ, there was a couple things I thought that this team needed. They need to get bigger on the perimeter, and they've done that. And a guy like this who can guard bigs, guard little, play on the perimeter, get you some offense. He averaged 12.2 points a game against UNM in 6 games. In his senior season, 2022-2023, those numbers jumped up to 20 points per game. He made 6 3-pointers against the Lobos. So there's 3 scholarships left and we'll get into Braden Applehans, who went into the portal. I don't hate this. I don't love it. I like it. I think it's a good addition, nice solid addition. I think what Lobel fan needs to understand is, assuming you get through now the next 5-6 days without anybody jumping in the portal, and assuming JT Toppin does not go to the NBA, which I think we all assume, you've got a really good starting five, and what you're doing is putting the rest of the pieces together.
Yeah, and this is really the challenge of what today's college basketball is about, because you had this guy in Braden Appelhans, but he doesn't get a chance to develop because you got to win right now. And it's no coincidence that both those things happened yesterday. You bring in a 6'6" swing, and Tanjay is a more physical player. So Tanjay may play a little small ball forward for you as well, be that wing piece, but then, it's at the expense of the development of Braden Appelhans. And that's the trade-off you make. So you add a position that, maybe it could have been Braden Appelhans, but the coaching staff feels that, Tanjay is a known commodity. And he's done it for 4+ years in Division I basketball, coming back in and probably be your starting 3 at times, because I don't think Mustafa Amdil is going to be the starting small forward the entire season, and give you flexibility, because Amdil's still going to play the 4.
So you think
Tanjay could probably start some at the 3. I think you could even see lineups where they start Dant Washington and Nolan at times, so he has that some versatility.
All right, I'm Braden Appelhans. He's the third Lobo to enter the transfer portal in the offseason. That's Sebastian Forsling and of course, Jamal Mashburn. I agree with you that this is correlated. And while I don't know that anybody will ever say this, and this is where I go back and forth on this, there's a couple things to me. One, this is the difference in college basketball today as it was 5 years ago. You're putting together teams instead of programs necessarily, right? This is a year-to-year thing. And if Braden Appelhans has been in your program, you've been developing him, you think, okay, next year is his opportunity, and he's not going to get it because you bring in a guy that John Tanjay is going to take whatever minutes that were there for him. And I'm sure the coaching staff let him know, hey, we just recruited over you. However they said it to him, you're welcome to stay and compete, but this guy's probably ahead of you, and the graduate transfer who's got 1 year left to play probably didn't come in to sit on the bench.
No. Came in to start some games, be the wing player that you're looking for. And we've said it for 3 years now, finding that swing piece that can be physical and be a difference.
Yeah, and defend. So Braden Appelhans was probably, and I don't know this for a fact, I don't know the conversation, but this is, we've talked so much on the show, and you all have, about the portal. And it always comes down, the players, they always think they're going to find a better spot. They're very often, I don't know if it's 50%, 40%, 30%, 75%. I don't know. But I'm telling you, it's not never. And it's a lot more frequent than you might think. Very often, a guy is transferring because he's been told, hey, you don't really have a spot here. We've recruited over you. Or you're welcome to stay, but you're probably not going to play. Or sometimes it's just as simple as you probably need to go. Right? And it's not always the player just bailing. And I know the players get a bad rap on this, and I get it. But it's not always the player just saying, man, I'm out of here. Very often it is, hey, let me paint the picture for you. You might want to go. Or you probably should go, or you need to go. And I'm not telling you that's what happened here, but it sure feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's realization that this dude is coming in to play a wing spot. And Braden Appelhans is 6'7". I still think that there's a ton of upside for the kid.
I do too.
Everything that he battled through last year, thumb injury for shooters, going to take you time. And wish the best for these guys do when they hit the portal. Still do.
One other piece of portal news in the conference. San Diego State got a 6'10" power forward, a guy named Jared Coleman. He came from Middle Tennessee. This is the kind of guy that they just thrive on, isn't it? A big rim protector, averaged over a block a game. He's got 1 year of eligibility left, 11 points, 7.5 rebounds a game, a 7 foot, this guy's 6'10", but a big guy, rim protector, kind of feels like it fits right in San Diego State's.
What you do.
So the portal's spinning.
Keep churning.
The portal's spinning. All right, 505-246-0610. Kicking it with Kenny was fun today. When we come back, I want to reset some stuff on the draft. And you were surprised. We were surprised. Everyone was surprised when the Atlanta Falcons selected Michael Penix Jr. with the 8th pick overall. Why? Well, because, A, they didn't need a quarterback, but they just signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year deal and guaranteed him $90 million. How did Kirk Cousins feel about this whole thing? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
Travis Kelce's girlfriend. Travis Kelce from Peck.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
They paid Kirk Cousins. What was it? It's like $90 million guaranteed, but it's 4 years at like
4-year deal, $90 million guaranteed. So Atlanta is paying
but it's like $180 million total, right? If they play the contract out, guaranteed
until you cut him after 2 years,
and eat the cap hit.
And it's about $12.5 million if it's post.
Yeah,
6-1, all those things.
It's amazing how we just throw millions around like this. I mean, it's just a few million here, and $90 million here, and $45 million.
I'll go sit on a bench for $90 million.
You want to beat my ass for $45 million a year too.
Sports, man.
I can, yeah.
It's the world they live in.
All right, so then they take Michael Penix, who a guy who on many draft boards, all right, he was anywhere from 3 to 6, man, probably 3 to 5. He was above Bo Nix on most draft on everybody. So anywhere rated from 3 to 5, or maybe 2 to 5, quarterback, not player, quarterback. And he was the 4th quarterback taken to a team who just invested $90 million guaranteed into a quarterback. So everybody was surprised, including the quarterback that they just guaranteed the $90 million to. According to the agent of Kirk Cousins, he was stunned, and that he did not get alerted until the team was on the clock. Until the Falcons were on the clock, the team did not call their quarterback. Now, Falcons general manager is Terry Fontenot. Their head coach is Raheem Morris. They were asked, what was Kirk's reaction? And they said, we're not going to tell you. I mean, unless he wants to tell you, it's going to remain private. Raheem Morris is the head coach. Quote, Kirk got called on the clock, obviously because of the sensitive time with the issue of what you got going on. It's never a right time to talk to a quarterback about those things, and reactions are always going to be private when it comes to those things, unless Kirk decides to tell you some of those things that are whatever they may be. But he's a competitor, just like all of us, and you can always expect those things to go just like you kind of think, end quote. That means he didn't take it well. It went like you think it went. He told me to bleep off. I mean, like, honestly, if it went like I think they did, he said, what the hell are you doing? We could have got a receiver or somebody, a tackle or a pass rusher. We got another freaking quarterback, bleep you. I mean, I don't know. How do you think? If you tell me it went kind of how you think. How do you think?
If you didn't trust Kirk Cousins, and that's part of what's going on, why did you give him $90 million?
It's insane, right? Now he's coming off an Achilles injury.
At the 8th pick, you knew most likely McCarthy, Penix, somebody was going to be available, or you could have even moved up a few spots. You felt that was your future franchise. Where I'm not buying and it's what they're saying. We're taking the Green Bay Packers wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay was winning games.
They had Brett Favre, and then they had Aaron
they
Rodgers.
were winning games, and you could say, all right, we're a good team. We can do this. Atlanta Falcons isn't winning games. They haven't won more than 7 games since 2017. Now they're consistent. They were 7-9, 7-9, 4-12, 7-10, 7-10, 7-10.
Yeah,
so you're telling me that, we're taking this model of developing Michael Penix, but you don't have that foundation yet. You don't have a winning foundation to just insert him into. Now, what they're saying is, we're going to win the next 2 years with Kirk Cousins. Well, so what if you do win at a high level with Kirk Cousins?
Then what?
And he's 38 years old and he's playing good football. Then you're kind of forced yourself to do what Green Bay did and go, Aaron might actually still be able to play, but
send him to the Jets.
Jordan Love.
Let me give you the difference.
It doesn't seem like a good team building philosophy for a team that's not established. If they were established, I think you have a much different feeling than 7.
I think if they'd have picked it at 24, you have a much different feeling. And that's what the Packers did both times. They picked Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers in the 20s when they had established quarterback. They had Brett Favre, and they picked Aaron Rodgers in the 20s. Because at that point, it goes to what you're saying. You say, look, after 10, 15, pick the best player. Don't jump to fill a need, okay? Because then you overdraft. So at that point, Aaron Rodgers was probably the best player left. He was the last guy in the green room. They took him, okay? And he sat for 3 years behind Brett Favre and became one of the best ever. Jordan Love, same concept. He was sitting there, and they were winning. They had Aaron Rodgers. You were in the 20s, and they believe he was the best player. And it feels like, I'm not going to tell you it's played out yet, but it feels like it's playing out, and it worked for the Packers. This is the 8th pick, dude. At number 8, you can get a guy who is a decade player. Now, you can miss on it, too. Don't get me wrong. You can get a guy who's
I don't know, a stud for a decade on the edge or at left tackle or at wide receiver or wherever you felt your need was. That's where this one blows your mind. Now, here's what they're saying. Fontenot, their general manager, Terry Fontenot, and I'm listening to it. It helps me understand where they're thinking. He said, quote, "These are not easy decisions. These are tough decisions, but that's who we're thinking about. We're thinking about the fans. We're thinking about this organization. We're going to build a sustained winner. We're going to win for a long time. That's the most important position in football." And basically what he's saying is we're not going to be in a position again for a long time to be in the top 8 to draft one of these franchise quarterbacks. So we're going to sit this guy for 2 to 3 years, but we got our franchise quarterback going forward because he believes, and I appreciate where he's coming. We're not drafting again in the top 10. We're going to be damn good. We're going to be drafted in the 20s. And so we're not going to have the opportunity again to be in this position to take one of the top quarterbacks. We have this guy evaluated as a top quarterback, and so that's why we're taking
it. It's the initial reaction of, wow, what are you doing? You can talk yourself around, this could work. If they win games with Kirk Cousins, you can maybe get out a little bit early, before it goes bad. Transition to Michael Penix, who obviously they have believe has a very high ceiling for that franchise. And just because it's first time doesn't mean it's not something that could work. It just the feels of having a bridge quarterback for $90 million. That's what they're doing. They're telling me, hey, we're going to go win games with Kirk Cousins for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's Michael Penix.
And we're going to sit Michael Penix. By the way, and here's the other thing, and nobody's saying this.
But there's also a chance that Kirk Cousins isn't. What if he get hurt right away? Then all right, you give yourself that.
So I'm kind of going there. Yeah. Nobody's having this conversation about Kirk Cousins or Brett Favre for that matter. That we don't have a history of a guy that comes off of an Achilles like this and comes back, especially a guy at 35 or 40, right? Cousins is 35, Rodgers is 40. We don't have a history of a dude coming back from an Achilles and coming back and having a great year like that. We just don't. And, is the answer maybe Michael Penix is my insurance if my $90 million quarterback flat out isn't ready to go? Now, as far as guys sitting, it worked obviously for Green Bay with Rodgers. It feels like it's working. I'm not ready to completely say Jordan Love is established yet, but Jordan Love feels like he's on his way to being the guy. Jeffrey said Roger Staubach didn't start for about 5 years, partly a function of naval service and platoon system with Craig Morton, but notwithstanding, he appeared in 5 Super Bowls and won 2, including getting in the Hall of Fame. Different era, but yeah, that's how it was done. Look, up until, 15, maybe 20 years ago, the blueprint was you get a quarterback in and he sits for a year, 2 years, 3 years. That was the blueprint. I look around and it feels like it helped Jordan Love. I'm not sure I got another quarterback that it's helped right now because every other quarterback that you say is really successful in the NFL right now started day one. Even if it's Geno Smith that started day one and failed. I mean, do you have one? Well, no, what Patrick Mahomes sat for a year.
I don't look at that as them sitting, though.
But
they went into winning football.
Okay.
Like Alex Smith
that's
was taking
the
a team to
luxury.
the playoff.
That's the luxury.
And I don't know if the Falcons have that luxury.
Well, but he sat behind a guy from whom he learned. It feels like the Falcons are reset with Kirk Cousins. So if Michael Penix sits behind Kirk Cousins for 2 years, akin somewhat to Patrick Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith for 1 year. I mean, that's kind of the concept, right?
Yeah. And you know what? This is one where it's like every 30 seconds, I feel differently about it.
All right.
Because the first 30, I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
If this is what you wanted to do, why'd you give Kirk Cousins so much money? But then you're like, well, maybe they believe that's all Kirk Cousins has left coming off the Achilles would be 2 good years of football.
Maybe they wonder if he's even got 2 good
and then
years.
Even wonder if after year 1, you could already be transitioning.
It's a head scratcher, but as I listen to them explain it, at least I understand it. Even if I'm not totally on board, I guess I understand it.
And this is one where obviously didn't catch anyone by surprise. They said, hey, if this is here, in Atlanta, this is our number one. Anyone in that draft.
Yeah, anyone in Atlanta. Bourne says Cousins equal Opel, Hans, and Tanjay. Jeff, I guess the other side is if you recruited this guy to win now, so why not pick someone who can play right away with him instead of a dude that's going to be sitting on the bench? Well, yeah, that's kind of the whole point. I mean, if you'd have got him another stud receiver, if you'd have gotten him an offensive lineman, hell, who's their best pass rusher? I mean, they got decent pass rushers. But, I mean, who can't use that? Who's their best cover corner? Everybody needs a cover corner. But I get it, man. If you firmly believe, look, man, we're never drafting here again, and I got a 35-year-old quarterback. I got an opportunity to get our future quarterback, and it's the hardest position to find. And I watched what happened with Jordan Love, and he sat for 2 to 3 years, and now it looks like he's the dude. We're going to go out and we're going to get this guy. Now, they took him at 24. We're taking him at 8. It's a big risk. All right, everything you got to know as you go into your weekend, 505-246-0610, sales time to get in if you would like. Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck, Gato Roberto on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part,
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here. Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Want to remind you of the sweet deal that we've got going. It just went on sale a few minutes ago. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. It is Bourbon House. For $25, you get $50 to spend at Bourbon House. It's Albuquerque's only bourbon bar. There's 100 bourbons. They got local draft beers, local wines, food. They got craft cocktails. Full bar there. It's not just bourbon. Boy, they got good bourbons. So if you can't decide what to try, pick any four. Customized whiskey flights, bourbon flights. They got Whiskey Wednesdays, 25% off all whiskeys and all bourbons. Every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, a Bourbon House opens up into New Mexico's favorite honky tonk, the Dirty Bourbon. So you got a lot to do over there. It's up in the Northeast Heights. It's got a great patio, and it is our sweet deal. It's on sale now. Go to sportsanimalabq.com, click on the sweet deal icon, and for $25, you get $50 to spend up at the Bourbon House. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and Gato Roberto, 505-246-0610. All right, so round two of the NFL draft tonight. What time does it start? Like early? 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock? Whenever it starts tonight. And you get rounds 2 and 3 tonight. And you also get hoops tonight. Minnesota at Phoenix. Suns are home, down 2-0. Clippers will be in Dallas. It's 1-1. Milwaukee goes to Indianapolis. It is 1-1. Last night in the NBA, the Nuggets took a 3-0 lead on the Lakers, 112-105. They win in LA. Sixers get to within 2-1 in their series with the Knicks, 125-114. They win in Pennsylvania. And the Magic claw their way back into their series with a 30-something point win, 38 points, 121-83. Orlando over the Cleveland Cavaliers. People will be talking about the Michael Penix draft pick. 8th overall to Atlanta. They're going to be talking about everybody who's trying to camp probably in front of Kirk Cousins' house right now to get his reaction. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was on Sunday
Kirk.
Night Baseball the other night in Atlanta. They were talking to him, and he was all Mr. Atlanta. Oh, yeah, this is the greatest place ever. And now it's
Well,
like,
guess
whoa.
what? That shouldn't bother you. Go out there,
It
play
shouldn't bother
winning football.
you. They just drafted your replacement before you've taken a snap. It shouldn't
also
affect
got
the way you
$90
play.
million guaranteed.
Yeah, you got your
You've been
money.
there all your career, Kurt.
Yeah.
This is who you are.
It's always been
You
that
thought
guy.
finally, there's a couple years where sign a guaranteed deal, not be living off the franchise tag life. Nope. That's who you are.
Yeah, there's
Just
something
go
to
out
it.
there and just keep doing your thing.
I mean, you got to go do your thing. What else are people talking about? Certainly around here, John Tange in the transfer portal. Lobos signed the wing. You'll recognize the name. He played at Colorado State for 4 years. Or 4 years? What's he get, 6 years? Then he played at Missouri last year, and then he gets another year?
Yeah, this is COVID and probably an injury.
All right. Man, he's got another year. So 6'6" grad transfer coming over from Missouri. So the Lobos signed him yesterday, and somewhat simultaneously with that, or at least on the same day, the announcements came. Braden Applehans entered the transfer portal, and he is looking for another place. Although he said he's leaving it open to come back to UNM, but we'll see how that plays out for Braden Applehans, who I think people were really looking to see finally play next year. I was. I heard how good he was. I never really saw glimpses of it. I wanted to see it.
I'm right there with you. This is also the challenge of college sports. Can you have enough development versus trying to fill a need right away. And what the Lobos, they look and say, well, develop Donovan Dent, develop JT Toppin, some impact players in right now.
Yep. Joel Embiid scored 50 last night, then revealed that he's dealing with Bell's palsy. I don't know that, when was the last time you heard of Bell's palsy? It's a paralysis of the face. And evidently it's a temporary thing, but he said it's been affecting his vision. His eyes have been blurry and dry, and he's dealing with the knee thing and everything else. So he was asked, are you able to trust your knee? He said, no. Just trying to keep pushing. Like I said, I'm not going to quit. Even if it's on one leg, I'm still going to go out there and try. But no, it's not an excuse. Got to keep playing better and better. Tonight I got lucky. I made a few shots. Got to find a way to rebound. I don't even care about rebounds. I just got to make sure that my man doesn't get it. And when it backs out my man, I got to take him out of the play, whatever it takes to win. Meanwhile, he had, 50 points?
50 burger.
I mean, give it to him. And we know he's got a bad knee. He had no idea about this Bell's palsy. Dude's out there balling.
Embiid is top 5 player in the NBA.
Okay.
He's right there with Nikola Jokic. He is. Straight talent. Now Jokic, he's a better passer, maybe open some more things up, but that is how good Joel Embiid is. And now it's time to see, all right, can he claw his team back in this Eastern Conference?
Let me tell you something.
To the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in your career.
If he gets through this series, he's a legend. Down 2-0 and dealing with Bell's palsy and then and the knee injury and just carrying this team inside, outside, making threes. If he gets them, he's a legend. Let alone if he gets them to the finals. What is this? This is the 7-2 game? So they would get Milwaukee theoretically next if they get through this? No, they would not. Yeah, 7-2 gets 2-3. Yeah, theoretically. Milwaukee better take care of their own business. Is Giannis coming back?
No.
He's done, period?
Well, he's out tonight. He hasn't even been running yet from reports. He's maybe doing some dribbling, some light work, but he's not running up and down the court.
Who's the 4 seed in that? Is that the Orlando-Cleveland thing? So the Celtics, if they get through the Heat, assuming they will, would get Orlando or Cleveland. It's an interesting little run for them. It's not like going through the West, is it?
No.
It's different over there. All right, Tope's back at it tonight. They got beat last night. A lot to not much. What was the number? 21-9? Is that what I told you? They've been outscored 49-31 in 3 games. They're scoring 10 runs a game.
But they're giving up 20.
Gopher said time of possession. Jeff, yesterday Sushan mentioned how long these games are taking, but he never mentioned time of possession. Seems like one of the many reasons Albuquerque's baseball team defense is struggling is they're on the court forever and they're wearing down at the end of games. This is from Sid. He said on the Dukes, Mr. Symbieta, remember way back in 2018 when Sid jumped off the bandwagon, discussed that the Dukes had just given up 50 points and 60 hits in 4 games to the New Orleans Isotopes or whatever they were? I just broke. Well, they just did the same thing in 3 games by the Dodgers. Yeah, they gave up they're giving up a lot of runs, man.
And actually, the Oklahoma City
baseball
team
club?
is baseball club, not Dodgers.
Yeah, I think
because it's a transition name.
Yeah, I think people are saying that just to be funny. Like he still calls them the Dukes.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, I think he's just holding on to that. All right, we'll go out and see some runs scored at the ballpark. Whatever it is, bet the over. They have AAA over-unders. Whatever it is, bet the over. Because I'm pitching tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Down that rabbit hole.
What?
You're on AAA baseball over-unders.
Dude, you're banking. If you're down that rabbit hole, you're a degenerate.
I don't know if you're banking. You might be hanging out with Jonte Porter and Shohei's interpreter.
Ipe? Yeah, all right, I'll give you that you're a degenerate. If you are betting over-unders on AAA baseball, yeah, you got a problem. But you're probably, if you're betting the over every night on Isotopes game, you're probably just bought a new house.
And you look right now for the Rockies organization in the MLB.com prospect rankings.
Yeah.
They have one pitcher in the top 13 of the organization right now, and that dude is in AAA baseball.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to tell you help's on the way, but I don't know that I think help's on the way. You got the game tonight?
No, not tonight.
You got tomorrow day?
Yeah, Isaiah does tonight. I do tomorrow night and Sunday.
All right. Well, enjoy it. Bring your, Cracker Jacks and peanuts and what do you, like pack a lunch back here? What do you do?
Yeah, there's a nice refrigerator in the break room.
Yeah, I see it.
I stock it.
Yeah, all right, I'll stock it for you. Thanks to Nick Nee, the director of golf over at the Sandia Golf Club. He was with us today, as he will be every Friday for the foreseeable future. Jim Rome's show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On's here at 4. Isotopes in Oklahoma City after that. We're back with award-winning radio Monday morning starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great week. Gato Roberto, it's great to see. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, sure.
See you next week, maybe?
Not that I know of, but things can change.
I mean, I'm traveling a little next week. So.
Okay, well, we'll see. I'll ask Jared.
All right.
I'll ask the boss.
Thank you for being here.
Sure.
Big weekend for you?
Huge.
Enjoy it. Hey, have a great, safe weekend, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you on Monday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman. Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on?